if you want to take your business to another level, that, you know, selling t-shirts and you don't have an LLC, you get what I'm saying? Or like, and not even selling t-shirts, you don't have an LLC, but like, what scale are y'all saying it on? Are y'all saying this on
before we even go into a skill set, it's not even about that, honestly.
Mhm.
What people gravitate to wholeheartedly on the internet is professionalism, one, because
that's mainly what I'm saying. Is the level of professionalism that they would have with their business.
Yeah. And I'm just painting it as plainly as possible. It's only a certain amount of times that I can look at a video where I can tell it's a selfie video, right? Versus you're gonna grab my attention a little bit different if I see lights, camera, action. It look like it's well lit. I can see a mic on you. I can hear your voice I can hear the content of the video without having to hold it up to my ear or having to feel like you're pulling for my engagement. No, you caught my attention.
Right.
You know? And that's the deliberate attention span that we're trying to bring when we talk about having a professional approach. And then not also is it having a professional approach, but it's, you know, having a deliberate message. People think that our consumers are twice removed, but in reality, they're very in tune with, you know, your perspective, or at least being able to see that and see beyond the veil. So if I feel like it's not authentic, it's not coming from an organic place of view, and you're merely trying to get a sale, I'm going to keep scrolling.
Especially in small business.
Exactly. If I see a promotional ad and it's giving me is I'm a promotional ad. Yeah, I'm scrolling past it.
Right.
If you get on there and you get to your point, you make yourself heard organically. You give me an authentic version of yourself to be able to be attracted to what you're targeting me to. Then I might join that community. I might join that you know, family or service of goods that you're bringing to that table, because they don't have to, you know, pull back the veil and see your truth. Your truth is oozing out into that media.
Right.
And I want to speak real quick. I got a quick story of how I was drawn into like the total aspects of looking for what you want. Let's just call it that. I was going to say Google, but just looking for what you want, and how the internet is more accessible for you to look for what you want very quickly. Back in the day, I used to have Yellow Pages. Yellow Pages would be delivered to your house, and it would come 2 inches thick, 2.5, 3 inches thick, full of businesses. So I'm very familiar with marketing through Yellow Pages, taking out full page Yellow Page ads. Worked for a company that we had a full page Yellow Page ad.
Mommy had yellow. No, she didn't have. She did have Yellow Pages, but she had on the receipts at the grocery stores. Yeah. That's crazy.
Both. Because of me. Both. And a Yellow Page ad used to be like a full Yellow Page ad in Chicago. Yellow Pages would be like $15,000 a month.
Oh my! What?
$20,000 a month to get in the front of the book, and to have a full page color ad in the Yellow Pages was very expensive back in the day. But think about the return. The return was phenomenal.
Right.
So let me get back to my story, because I want to get back to Joy's next question.
I said short story. Right. If you got to say that means the story not going to be that short. He tell long stories. It's intriguing
because it's going to draw more conversation about the subject matter. So back in the day, I would get these Yellow Pages, and they would come to the salon, and I would just look at it and I would say, "There's not that many businesses out here for it to be that thick." So I would open it up, and I would see businesses as far as Gary and different areas of that, and they would have them broke down into different cities, right? And I literally watched as Google started to pick up. I literally seen the Yellow Page shrink down to a very small book, to the point where you don't even see them anymore as much as you used to. So at that time, I was really trying to figure out, like, why is Google so popular? Why is it so popular? So I went back to the Yellow Pages and I opened it up, and I would see businesses that said they were in Gary, Indiana, that wasn't in Gary, Indiana. And I would say, why would they pay for an ad to be in Gary, Indiana, and they're not?
Where were they at?
They were in Indianapolis. They were in the outskirts cities. And I thought about it and I was saying, if they're getting the phone calls, it's beneficial. Yeah. If I'm an attorney and I have an ad in a place where it's less attorneys, I just feel the void.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So as I seen Google becoming popular, I said, can you do the same thing on Google? Come to find out, yes, you can. And that was some of the first things that was being done by big businesses, is that as soon as Google became popular, they would put false locations in areas where it was less competition. So could you imagine that is still going on today? So when you talk about ads, this is what I want you to draw off of it. Think about ads now and where you purposely want them to be seen. If it's, what is a restaurant you spoke about earlier?
Chili's.
If it's Chili's, and let's just say this Chili's location is in an area where it's not a lot of restaurant competition, then that becomes a very effective ad. So now I'm running this ad on social media, and I could pick demographically where I want it to be seen. I may not need to have the Chili's downtown running this ad because they should be fine.
Right.
They should have enough foot traffic to be a very successful restaurant.
Right.
But what if this Chili's is in the outskirts, in the suburbia areas where it's less competition? They may need that ad. So I want to ask you, like, have you been able to look at it? You know, at your age, have you been able to look at how the businesses even come up on your thread?
I would say I could definitely tell that it's tailored off of my searches. Like, I know that my Pinterest is connected to my YouTube, it's connected to my Twitter, it's connected to my Facebook, it's connected to my Google. So with stuff like that, knowing that, like, okay, or my Amazon, like if I search up spoons on Amazon, I'm gonna be getting spoon ads on my Instagram or something like that. Right. But even with something like that, I would say that they're tailored to just my demographic. They're tailored to knowing that, like, I like to go to concerts, I like to get my hair done, I like hair products, I like vanity clothes, different things like that, jewelry, different things like that. So it's like, yeah, I could definitely tell that the ads are tailored towards me. When it comes to places that are in the actual area and I'm not like ordering offline or I'm not doing something like that, I would say that the most place that I would go to is Apple Maps, and Apple isn't as developed as Google, it seems, when it comes to just what is in your area, what you could do in your area, different things like that. But it's Apple Maps. I search this near me, it give me that, and then I immediately go to the reviews and go to Yelp, see what's on Yelp, see what the pictures they have uploaded on their Apple Maps and different things like that. So I think that, but also I would say that maybe I'm not necessarily the target audience either, because I don't have any social media on my phone right now. So I don't really even be like, I only have like Pinterest and YouTube on my phone right now. So it's like, I wouldn't say that maybe I'm necessarily the target audience, but I do think that I'm the audience that will go out and actually spend the money.
Little do you know that they're very savvy.
Yeah.
These companies and advertising marketing agencies, they are very savvy.
Yeah.
They know which app you spend a lot of time.
I've seen a billboard, and I heard this online before I've seen it in person, and then I realized what was happening in person. So it's this billboard on US 30, and it's a digital billboard, so it switches or whatever. And I know that I have heard someone say, I don't know where, but I've heard someone say that they will change the ad on the billboard based on who they know is off of your phone. It do sound like a conspiracy theory, but I think it's just the idea of the location on your phone or whatever, or knowing that you're in this area, that they can know how to change the billboard based on who is in that area, or the times, or the times of like 5 o'clock, this and that, or just stuff like that, basically. And I noticed that every time I would go past this billboard, that it would be either a college or it would be Mael. The Mael brand, and it changes. Like the billboard changes all the time, so it's not the only ads there. But I could definitely tell that, like, if my location is on my Apple, And people have my location. The Apple has my location.
Yeah.
And I'm very sure that in that privacy statement, that agreement that you have to sign up into, that they're sharing your location with different advertisers and different things like that. So it's not that far-fetched. But I know that at the same time, even when it comes to what I do, like you said, they're very savvy. Because they know that I'm in school. Yeah. I'm going back to school. I'm going back to school.
Best believe that.
Yeah.
And let's just talk about billboards for a second. Let's talk about billboards. Billboards, at some point in time, they're fighting against the digital era. They're fighting against the digital movement, right? So let's just flip it. If I'm a CEO of Lamar, I think that's maybe one of the names of the big billboard companies. If I'm a CEO of this company and I say, I just don't want to lose to the digital movement, what should I do? I'm going to hire a UX designer.
Right.
I'm going to hire somebody to do UX research to tell me what should I be doing to make sure that my billboards stay engaging, right? So I'm going to use data. I'm going to use research. I'm going to use everything that I possibly could imagine to make sure that I compete with the digital age. One thing right now that you can advance is QR codes. If you have a billboard and you're not,
QR code on a billboard.
if you have a billboard and you don't have a QR code, you're missing out.
Yep.
100%.
Because guess what? Now you can create specific URL QR codes for specific web addresses that you can sit back and run analytics on and say, hey, because of this billboard, we have 5,000 clicks to that. Now you can say that's a successful billboard. So now the billboard industry is not dying as fast as it should because they're imposing technology to be able to stay afloat.
Right.
Because it was times where they knew, just like with the Yellow Pages, that the industry was dying. We were getting calls from Lamar. Hey, we're running a special. Would you guys like a billboard? This and this and that. And we were like, no, because we knew that it was a dying piece of marketing for us. But they're still there. They're still all over the place. They're still being used. They're still being used by multiple companies. And I think it's always a place for them. But they had to switch. They had to make some changes.
Right.
Yes. And one thing I do want to highlight with you saying that is just a lot of the stuff I'm going to be saying is more so like a mindset that I have that I want you guys to have as well, especially coming into, we're in December, we're in the last month of the year going into 2025, and we want to put our best foot forward going into 2025. And especially as entrepreneurs and small business owners. And one thing that I've seen a lot, especially when it pertains to advertisement and marketing, is that it's not a lot of people that understands the potential that comes with marketing on a digital as well as a physical level, right? So you have the nature of a lot of brick and mortar companies that is, hey, I've been in business for over 12 years and I never had to put out a digital ad. I've only handed out flyers and the community knows who I am. But in retrospect, a lot of these same individuals don't understand the power and the magnitude of what the digital age can do to sustain and further elevate your business. Like, prime example, I can print out a flyer. I can print out 100 of this one flyer, right? I hand it out to 100 people. The same content of this flyer, I can talk about for 7 seconds and put it on a platform that has statistically over 1 billion users. So it's like the magnitude of reach is very much so skewed in a lot of people's eyes because they don't understand the vast potential that the digital age of marketing and advertisement has brought to us. So I definitely going into 2025, I want a lot of people just to understand and hold reference of, what digital marketing can do for me and how it can push us forward in a different perspective coming into 2025.